Why don't you just get a guide dog? You should get a guide dog. It's such a good idea. Oh, getting a guide dog will really improve your mobility. Hey guys, how you doing? I hope you're doing good. Welcome back to My Blind Life. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. If you're new, please hit subscribe. It means a lot. Thank you very much. So today's video may turn into a bit of a rant. If you like my Facebook page, you would have already seen this morning's post, which warned that this video may turn into a bit of a rant. And so today's topic, if you didn't gather by the quick little intro, well, might be quick, might not be, because I might find some pictures which might help. But today's video is all on the subject of guide dogs. Mostly the question of, so are you getting a guide dog? I get asked this so often. It's unreal. And it's even led me to think now that there is so much pressure around getting guide dogs for visually impaired people. But maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the only one that gets asked. Well, I'm probably not the only one that gets asked it 24/7. Well, not 24/7, but you know what I mean. So lately, as you know, plans change, and I'm going to backtrack a few months. Actually, it's about 10 months, not a few months. Jeez. I'd say it's about 10 months anyway, nearly 10 months. When I was at RNIB, they suggested I think about getting a guide dog. I was like, okay, yep. I thought about it and I said, yeah, I have been thinking for a while about getting a guide dog. And yeah, okay, I'll do it. So I applied and our team's, mobility officer, whatever, guide dogs officer came round, took some, did some paperwork, took some questions, and we had a big talk. And then after that, I was talking to my ex about, possible plans for moving, and I realised that at the time, I didn't really know where I'd be at the time of the assessment. The assessment was going to happen quite quick, and just to see where my mobility's at. And I was thinking, well, if I'm not even living in Daventry at the time, what's the point in doing the assessment? And I spoke to my mobility officer quite a bit about it, and she said, well, I can't make your decision for you, but if you decide, you need to decide quite quick. So I decided to close my guide dogs application for a number of reasons, but the main one being that I didn't know where I was going to be living, and I didn't want to do the assessment if I wasn't going to be living in Daventry. Fast forward to September, and me and my ex split up. So it's kind of lucky that I didn't, I didn't pursue the learning routes in Northampton and all this and all that for guide dogs, because it just didn't happen. Fast forward a couple more months, and I'm now thinking of putting my name on the housing list. Because it's going to be months before I even get a place anyway. I'm not a priority case, and, I will be specifying that I don't want to live in a flat, and a lot of the one-bedroom properties are flats. And I don't want to live in a flat for a number of reasons, but that's not the topic of this video. Now, I posted this on Facebook, and I posted in a group, and quite a few people have said to me, oh, because I mentioned about getting a dog, and not a normal dog, but I went to say a normal dog, not a working dog, not a service dog, just, a pet dog, a normal dog. Um, because I'm worried about how lonely I'm gonna get. And I've always had dogs in my family, and dogs have kept me company for years. So I think even if I wasn't living alone, I'd be getting a dog. Dear future partner, I hope you're a dog lover. And literally so many, well, not so many people, but I think I'd say 5 or 6 people have said to me, oh, why don't you get a guide dog? Because when you start doing more travel, you know, you can't, you'll have to leave a normal dog for so long. You'll be tied down, blah, 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 blah. But the thing is, you know, some people don't know my situation and others do. So my situation at this moment in time is, okay, so for guide dogs, you have to learn 3 routes to even be considered to be put on the waiting list. No, to be put on the list for training. That takes a while in itself, let alone the waiting to be matched with the dog. But anyway, you have to learn a minimum of 3 routes, each route lasting around half an hour. I don't, because everything in my town is practically on the same route. So I don't need to know much more. And to be honest, walking around the town isn't very accessible anyway, even if I had a dog. I won't feel confident. And I don't feel confident now. So my situation is, I'm a very much, I stay at home a bit. Even with my PA support, I stay at home. Some of the time I stay at home. Unless I'm going to the gym or, I need to pop to town to get a few bits and pieces or, whatever. So, I tend to stay at home, or I tend to do things which I wouldn't really take a dog. For instance, the gym. The dog can't come in the gym. My social group gets so crazy, and no one would leave the dog alone, and I wouldn't want that. I'd have to somehow explain to all the people with different needs that, yes, you can stroke my dog, but please don't distract it from its from its work. If it's guiding me around, please do not distract it. And that would just get tiring. And then other times I barely go out. So for me, my situation is I wouldn't be working a dog fully. And they love their job. And when you actually apply for a guide dog, you get given a leaflet, and it actually says how many hours a dog should be working, and then it says how many hours a dog should be exercised off harness. Now, I don't have that much, I don't have that many routes under me, and I don't go out very often, so the dog wouldn't get worked. And so it's not right. It's not the right situation for me. I mean, I'm never saying never, because I think at the minute I'm making a very grown-up choice in saying that no, a guide dog right now isn't for me, because guide dogs aren't for everybody, and it doesn't work like, oh yeah, why don't you get a guide dog? Okay, I'll get a guide dog now. You have to think about loads of things, and you have to think about your situation. And I just think that sometimes people don't realise how much responsibility and how much, because yes, you form a partnership with the dog, but you have to think about the dog's needs as well as yours. So, like I mentioned, I don't go out enough to be working the dog. And to even be assessed, I need to learn a couple more routes, and I don't have any more routes to learn. I mean, I'm thinking of messaging my mobility instructor and just saying, what more can I do? You know, without your help, because I'm perfectly capable of doing it myself with the help of, you know, my PA. What more can I do? But I just feel that maybe stereotypically women are more not pressured, but everybody asks them, when are you gonna get a guide dog? Oh, why aren't you getting a guide dog? Oh, you know, you should have a guide dog. It'll help you so much. I think it's because women are more, you know, stereotypically dog lovers. You know, men are dog lovers too. So I don't know why that women kind of put the question on them, like, why don't you have a guide dog? Because, you know, like I said, you have to think about your situation. You can't just say, oh, I'll have a guide dog and that's that. You know, it takes a lot of time. Even just doing the training takes so much time. Like, I haven't done the training myself, but I know how much time it takes. And then even being on the list, just waiting for a match. But, you know, before you get a guide dog, you have to be able to use your cane. You know, because there may be times where the guide dog can't work, or you're in transition to getting a new dog, or, you know. So you have to learn to use your cane anyway. And to be honest, I know a dog is a physical being and can move you out the way of objects and can do this, can do that, whatever they can do. You know, I don't claim to be fully in the know, so I'm not going to say what they can and can't do. My cane, you know, gets me around enough. And fair play to guide dog owners, you know, because they have decided that yes, they do want to enter into this partnership, that yes, their situation will meet the needs of the dog. And I was told by someone not to get a pet dog because I'll have to leave them for 4 hours. You know, if I go travelling, I can't go more than 4 hours. I could, and if I did, I'd get someone to check on them anyway. It's just the person that I am. Like, I'd go to my mum and dad and be like, right, I'm out for the day. Can you check on whatever the dog's name is? I have been thinking of future names. Just for... I know, it's sad. I haven't even got the place yet. I'm going to wait at least 2 or 3 months before considering getting a dog in a new place. Just so I'm fully settled and all that kind of stuff, and I have the time to look after the dog. But yeah, I mean, it hasn't been as much as a rant as I thought it was going to be, but I just wanted to clear that up, because every time I write comments to people saying, basically saying, okay, so this is my situation, I better go out, I better do this, I better do that, I'm not ready for a guide dog. I just feel like my comments can come across as quite funny, because sometimes when you're commenting or texting or messaging or emailing or whatevering, you know, sometimes it can be taken out of context, and I worry that this is happening when I comment about my situation. I'm just not ready for a guide dog partnership at this point in my life. Like, I'm fully happy with my cane at the minute, you know, and I'm fully happy with the support of my PAs, of my family. And it's brilliant. Like I said, fair play to those who have guide dogs. Well done. You know, you made the decision, or your situation fit around a guide dog. But for me, it's just not the right time. And I feel like, you know, people's situations are never the same. So when you ask that question, why don't you have a guide dog? Please consider the amount of, not effort, but the amount of responsibility that person would be taking on if they did get a guide dog. And also consider, if it's me and I respond to you, if I come across as being funny, then it's not me being funny, it's just me saying it out how it is. You know, because a lot of the time I am worried, and I think it's just, you know, social media, as it is anyway. But I'm just worried how my comments come across, and that's partly why I wanted to make this video, because I just wanted to say to the people out there that have said to me, are you going to get a guide dog? Do you think you'll ever get a guide dog? You know, those sorts of questions. I just wanted to, you know, make it clear that I wasn't being funny in my response. I was just stating my situation and why I'm not. And like I said, never say never. But, you know, the circumstances and plans do change. So who knows, I might in the future, I might not. But someone even said don't get a pet dog, because if you get a guide dog in the future, you I can't remember what it was, but it was something to do with guide dogs. And to be honest, I have a dog now, and I had a dog when I was going to be assessed, so, you know, that would have been an issue anyway. But yeah, I practically rambled on through this video. I didn't write any notes down or anything, and I normally do that anyway, but I just, you know, it's just one of those topics that I thought I had to address quite quickly, and I haven't filmed a video in some time, so I needed to film a video. Quite a few videos coming up, so please stay tuned, subscribe, turn on the notifications, all that kind of stuff. Feel free to share with people, get MyBlindLife, you know, shared and stuff. And let's just raise some awareness and educate the uneducated. Don't forget as well, guys, I also have an Instagram now. So go follow me over there. I'll put the link in the description, as well as the link to my Facebook and my other YouTube channel. And yeah, so you can check those out if you wish to check them out. I hope you liked this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh, you are kidding me.
Speech on. Stop recording video.